Hello, welcome to week 3 of my Fame Logs. This week we did a lot of rehearsals. We learnt the harmonies for Bring On Tomorrow, which was very, very fun. And we also did the Spanish part for Fame, which I've taken my time to do at home because it proved to be very, very tricky in the beginning. A lot of us found it difficult. But this week I also, out of the shot then, but this week we also did some stamina and some exercising with Di. We did it twice or 3 times this week, and it made me feel more motivated, which I think is what I've been lacking, is the motivation to like keep up with my work and just keep going for it. And I mean, like, I've worked really hard on making sure my work is done on time, and I've been working really well on it. However, doing the physical side of it has made me more ready to dance, if that makes sense, ready to do things. It gave a lot of us the energy to get up and go. I do struggle with my press-ups. I haven't been able to do them. So that's something that I would like to work on. And I think to do that, I need to work on maybe doing it with my knees first and then building myself up to be able to do it on my hands, because that's one thing that I can't do. However, on the other hand, I felt like I was really good at doing the press-ups and the like sit-ups, but you're on your stomach and you're lifting your head up, and that was really, really fun. And we also did planks as well, which I managed to do the second time. The first time was quite tricky, but because I'd done it before, I knew what to expect. I knew what it was going to feel like. My floor's creaking. So we did that. And also this week, I prepped an audition for Joe Vegas. They're holding auditions for the character of Joe. So we were told we had 2 days to do it. So I went out of my way to learn a completely different song. And what I did is I actually spoke to Liam first. I was like, what about my initial audition could I improve on? And he said about storytelling and how that's really important. And as an actor, I often perform on my instincts. I do prepare for an audition and I do look into the character. However, what I need to make sure I'm doing is that I'm planning every single emotion that I'm doing. I need to have a reason why I'm doing that emotion, or why I'm saying something in a certain way, and why my body language might mean something for a specific part of the song. So that is what I wanted to take on board. So what I did is I chose a completely different audition song because they also wanted me to highlight my high range. So instead of choosing a male range song, I chose a female range song, as that is what I'm able to work with now. So instead of doing Mooning, and even though my character development was good for Mooning, I didn't go as far as I could have because I was so focused on making sure I could hit the low note. So what I've done now is I chose the song Fabulous Baby from Sister Act. She talks about being on stage, she talks about wanting everything, and I thought that I could turn it into a Joey Vegas kind of song. I wanted to be quite delusional. I'm saying that I'm going to be doing this up on the stage as Million Fans Adore Me. I think it really highlights who Joe is as a character, and that's what they wanted to see. So what I did to show that I was showing the storytelling is I went through every single lyric and every single movement and I blocked it out. I took time to actually think about the song and not work on my instinct. So instead of doing Mooning, where I'd work on my instinct as an actor, as a performance, I would be like, oh, there's an interaction that's happening, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something in a specific way to show that. But what I did in Fabulous Baby is I literally did it step by step. At some points I walked forward, and then I realised that actually that doesn't work well with the song, so I made sure that I stayed back and I had my shoulders back. And then there's some parts of the song where I'm talking about things that I want, so I made sure that I was using my hands and that I was looking at those things, imagining those things that are happening in front of me. And there's also like some silly parts of it, so I made sure that I was silly with it. So that, it felt really good. I felt more prepared, and because I took that information on board that Liam had given me, it made it so much easier, and I felt so much more confident going in to that audition. Unfortunately, the auditions had been postponed that day, just for complications with other things that were going on, but I'm not sure if those auditions are happening after half term, so if they are, I know that I feel prepared, and it's also in a range that I feel comfortable in, and that is something that I'm really proud of, because don't get me wrong, I do those things, and I usually build up that to when I actually have a show, but for an audition, I've realised how important it is to be prepared in that way. So that is a great thing that I feel like I've developed this week, and I'd love to continue developing that for things like my show reel, my self-tapes and things like that. And then also this week I did some editing to my script, and I wanted to look at the what ifs and the given circumstances. So I looked at things like the given circumstances. It's a performing arts school. Mr. Myers is a teacher. Those things aren't going to change. The classes he teaches, how he teaches them, is not going to change. However, the what ifs could be, why is Mr. Myers saying something like this? Is it because he has had a difficult background and he wants the best for Carmen? Is it because he envies Carmen because he knows that she's going to go far? There's so many different possibilities, and I've added these all to my script to develop an understanding of where these thoughts and feelings come from the character of Mr. Myers. And I also looked into the things in his lessons. I looked at kind of, is he embarrassed of Joe when he's talking about not being able to keep it down? Is he intrigued to what he's saying? Is he ashamed? All of these different possibilities that I've written down so I can really unpick where my point of view is coming on when I'm on the stage. So that's something that I did this week, and it's been really, really useful. And I've also done some research as well on, I wouldn't be able to tell you, I'll have to put that down below again. But I've also done some research this week, which has been very, very helpful. But I think mainly this week, the thing I'm most proud of is being able to take on board notes, because also that is something that an actor should be able to do. They should be able to take on notes and apply them to what they're doing. So I think in the future, if I have this audition for Joe, or whether or not I don't, I know that I've got those skills in my actor's little toolbox that I can use in the future. So that is a great positive for this week. And yeah, very proud. Can't believe I did that. Slay.